Hello, welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is a really interesting article by Deadline. Now, there's a few things in here. There's talk of a Boba Fett series. There's discussions of just generally Disney Plus and Star Wars, but also Leslie Headland's series essentially being a spin-off universe, or her movie project, whatever it is, being a spin-off. So there's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot to dive into. So let's kind of sort of explore it together. I'll leave a link down below. It's a weekend. Hope you're all having a great weekend. I also have a few announcements to make. Just real quick, I am making another film. The GoFundMe is linked down below. It's a Lovecraftian-inspired psychological horror. So if you want to support original filmmaking whilst Hollywood is shit in the bed and not really doing anything at the moment, check out the link and support original film. Now, that being said, let's dive into it, shall we? So, like I said, this is Deadline. They're pretty good. They're not, they're not terrible, are they? They're a pretty good source. So, this article has since been updated. Not a lot, but they do have some updates. And this is by Nelly Andreeva. Now, I can say with the utmost certainty, so Nelly Andreeva here, you can see just there, some scoops that she has given with respect to Hellraiser series and what they're doing with that. I can confirm those, and they have since been confirmed as well. So I have no reason to actually doubt this, because as a scooper, Nelly is actually quite good. So the update here is just that Disney Plus's signature original series, The Mandalorian, just returned for its second season, which had wrapped production just before the pandemic hit in March. And while not officially greenlit, because this is what we're talking about, season 3, right? We all want to know, is there going to be a season 3? They've long discussed it. They've long discussed a season 3. And now it's not officially greenlit, but it's already been in pre-production. So, it's basically greenlit because they're paying them for pre-production work. So, so while not officially greenlit, a third season of the hit Star Wars series has been in pre-production for months. So yeah, it's greenlit. Absolutely greenlit. I would be so surprised if they cancel it. They're not going to. Now, with creator, director, and executive producer Jon Favreau publicly stating that he hoped to start filming by the end of 2020, and that may be the case, with some sources indicating that production would be starting as soon as next week, or in late November, early December, while others point to spring or even fall of 2021. Now, let's break it down into a few sections here. So let's talk about that first. Is there going to be another season? Yeah, probably, because it's been in pre-production for months. That's already been confirmed. We already have confirmation from Jon Favreau that he wanted to already start by the end of 2020. Can the current worldwide issue, can it affect it? Probably, but not massively, due to everything that they have in terms of being a closed set, because they're doing the ILM work, or the big screens, with the Unreal Engine, all of that stuff. I don't think they really, as closed sets go and as film sets go, they have the highest potential chance of just getting off the ground as and when they want. And whilst other productions are going ahead now, I don't see why it would stall. Now, they have wanted to keep releasing it every autumn, so every fall. And again, I don't see why they wouldn't be able to. So, yeah, for it to land next fall, next autumn, they are going to have to start now, this month. So if they don't start this month, then it's unlikely it will be ready by autumn next year, just because there is, there's a lot of stuff involved in this. So yeah, but there you go. That's that sort of out of the way, my thoughts on that. Yeah, I do think that they will give it a third season. Now, here we go. So apparently there's some confusion, right? So the confusion stems from the level of secrecy in the Lucasfilm camp, but persistent chatter could explain the discrepancy that another Mandalorian-related project spin-off, I hear possibly a Boba Fett miniseries, would film first, starting next week or later this month, with the Mandalorian Season 3 production coming after that. Now, Boba Fett. Boba Fett. Do we want a Boba Fett series? Do we want a mini-series? It's early days, isn't it? We can all agree it's pretty early days. We've only had one tease of Boba Fett in The Mandalorian this current season. And we've not seen him. We've not seen Tamura Morrison's acting back in the role. We've not seen anything. And if they start sidelining Mandalorian for Boba Fett, I think that's a bad business move. I think that's a really bad business move. Now, it does go hand in hand with everything else we'd heard of a Boba Fett movie or a series or all these things. But where'd you go with it? Do you introduce him in this season? Yeah, introduce him, maybe he gets his armor back and maybe goes off to redeem himself. I don't know. Maybe. But there's a few, would that be interesting that, the miniseries is him going off and redeeming himself? Yeah, potentially. But why would we want it? And what purpose would it serve in the universe when we already know that the Mandalorians have a strict code of honor? He's not a Mandalorian. That armor should be taken from him. Because he's not a Mandalorian. There's no reason he should actually have that armor. In fact, it's quite... it should be offensive to Din Djarin. Shouldn't it, really, if you're thinking about what they've established? So I don't know whether I like the potential of a Boba Fett miniseries. And I also think, ultimately, it removes the spotlight from a very good series. Now, there are a bunch of people that are die-hard Star Wars fans, and they will be loving a Boba Fett series. And maybe it's aimed at you. Maybe this is the series that's aimed at you. But ultimately, personally, I feel it's a bit... I don't know. I just think it's a bit redundant. You already have one great Mandalorian series. We don't need another character looking basically exactly the bloody same, who's not actually a Mandalorian, who we've already learned, everyone who comes across him that is a Mandalorian should be pretty annoyed that he's got that armor. The unfortunate nature is that in Mandalorian they've baked in reasons why Boba Fett shouldn't have his armor anymore, and why he should just be murdered straight off by real Mandalorians. And also, if you're sidelining Mandalorian to get working on a Boba Fett production, no, don't do that. Mando's good. It's proven, Disney. It's proven to be good. Just keep going with it. Don't sideline anything. You continue with what you know is good. Then when you're done, make something else. That's my sort of two cents worth with that anyway. Now anyway, it continues further and says Season 3 of The Mandalorian was recently listed in Production Weekly with the working title Buccaneer, sparking a guessing name among fans what that moniker may entail. Per usual, Lucasfilm and Disney Plus are keeping mum on details about the new season, including casting. And now here we go, there's some other bits and bobs here which start to get into interesting stuff. So, Sophie Thatcher, when the streetlights go on, Chicago Med, is being rumoured to be joining the Mandalorian franchise. Nobody is commenting, and there is conflicting information whether she will be part of the Mandalorian's upcoming third season or an offshoot series or both. Now, we know that there's a lot of offshoot series on the way. Kenobi's a limited series. Apparently, we're going to be getting a Ahsoka Tano series. Apparently, we're now getting a Boba Fett miniseries. We're probably going to be getting... I can't even remember the other Mandalorian's name. That's going to be in Mandalorian this season. So many. Too many, I think. And in February, then Disney CEO Bob Iger hinted that the company's plans to expand the Mandalorian's franchise with spin-off series, teasing the possibility of infusing the Mothership series with more characters and taking those characters in their own direction in terms of series. They really should just do a, Gina Carano, Cara Dune series, shouldn't they? That'd be fantastic. Now, there is speculation that such series is in the works and about to start filming, though it is unclear what Mandalorian characters will be spun off and whether Boba Fett is one of them. A recent online report pointed to a potential offshoot featuring Cara Dune. That would be really good. I think she's proven herself to be really, really favoured by fans. Fans like her. They've been defending her with all this nonsense that that's going on her Twitter and stuff like that. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't do that. Now, Star Wars Rebels character Bo-Katan, that's the one played by Katie Sackhoff. That's the other Mandalorian. Now, she's been rumoured to appear in The Mandalorian second season, but apparently there's no project specifically listed for her or even in the works for now. Adding to the confusion is that Disney Plus is now developing a female-centered Star Wars series written and showrun by Leslie Headland, so this is it, believed to be a female-driven action thriller with martial arts elements, and apparently it's set in an alternate timeline from the usual Star Wars universe. The rumoured spin-off is said to be separate from this Star Wars project, but the situation is fluid. Now, that needs unpacking, doesn't it? So, it's a female-driven action thriller, fine. With martial arts elements, fine. Set in an alternate timeline. An alternate timeline. And it's separate from these current Star Wars projects. Now, what does that mean? Is alternate timeline being an offshoot universe? Is it a separate universe? Is it just a different timeline? That wording, alternate timeline, so it's an alternative timeline, right? Very literally, you have to pick apart some of the language journalists use, and use quite literal terminology. An alternate timeline. So it sounds like they're just coming up with anything now. It's not a prequel, it's not a sequel, it's an alternate timeline. Is it a what if scenario like they've been doing, or like they're going to be doing with Marvel's What If, or Elseworlds, whatever it is? Weird. Very, very odd. Very odd choice and way to go, don't you think? Personally, I think that's a bad idea. Yeah. Well, no, it's good and bad in fairness, because if you're going to be doing an alternate timeline, nothing else is impacted in the main canon. So it could make sense. Maybe it's their version of doing Legends. Who knows? But there you go. There's all of the latest. There's my thoughts on Mandalorian Season 3, whether it will happen or whether it won't. Alternative timelines for female-centric Star Wars. All that good stuff. Boba Fett series. What do you guys think, though? Do you want a Boba Fett series? Do you think it's a little bit, I don't know, too much, too soon? We've already got Mando. Do you want to see another one? Do you also think in series they've baked in some reasons as to why he shouldn't be allowed to roam around with his armor, why you just get killed? Let me know your thoughts on all of this down below in the comment section. If you're new here, please do hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn the bell notifications on and click all, because otherwise you won't be notified. And also, returning subscribers, check that you're subscribed, because YouTube is unsubscribing people. And do check that you've got the bell notifications set to all. I've got some people jumping on here saying, I haven't heard an upload from you for like 3 weeks. Despite the fact that I upload like 3 times a day. So YouTube is screwing me around. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, ladies and gents. Hope you have a great weekend. Take care.